Taxation by law is the indicator of equity and justice of a nation. Check and remedy mechanism is the momentum of progressive society. A few days ago, I noticed the inquiry of a legislator on the case of embezzlement of 160 million drug money by an investigator. Director of Investigation Bureau replied, "We have to trim branches of a tree from time to time to avoid rotten trunks." I think the Director of Investigation Bureau and the legislator deserve credit. Even though I don't know their names. They are real heroes in democracy and rule of law. A department head exposed the internal problems of Investigation Bureau. This is the proof of transitional justice. Investigation Bureau was part of the intelligence system and did not answer to laws. We can see now the bureaus has turned into a law enforcement agency and changed public opinions about it. This is a successful story of transition. Our government bureaucracy is modeled after the system in Ming Dynasty. But the modern democracy is modeled after American system. American people are not afraid of FBI, but IRS. People know they did not commit any crimes. But they are not sure if they have violated tax codes. I have a lot of sympathy for Mr. Xi, seeing his testimony before death. He regrets his cooperation with Investigation Bureau to provide unlawful testimony for taxation. Tai Ji Men was taxed unjustly. Their properties were illegally seized. This has violated provisions of law and due process. People's rights to life, work and property have been violated. It is a disgrace in our democracy. The officers and lawmakers should be ashamed. I also would like to report that political purge and religious persecution are banned in modern democracy. Even Communist Party and all types of religion can lawfully register with government nowadays. It's completely against modern rule of law to discriminate or even persecute any faith. In the past and now, domestic or international, faith has never been a factor in tax. But Tai Ji Men was taxed unjustly. They were framed, set up and even destroyed based on untrue allegations. All these wrongful indictments come from a wrongdoing prosecutor and facilitated by corrupt tax agents. I don't know who should be responsible for the investigation of Tai Ji Men case. It's odd that such violations of law and abusive administration system persist with no remedy. The case casts doubt on Taiwan's democracy. The longer the case persists, the worse reputation of our democratic system and more suspicions people have about viability of the system. This is not good and this is not right. The fourth point I would like to make is taxation is based on income-generating economic activities. The computation of tax has to comply with tax code and accounting regulations. Tai Ji Men is not a cram school. Red envelope is not subject to tax according to 1.17 of Article 4 of Tax Code. So there is no issue with any tax recognition, let alone tax computation. Tai Ji Men case and the case in my book are called Tax 228 disasters. In both cases, taxpayers do not have income from economic activities, but were assessed heavy taxes from pseudo-incomes. Tai Ji Men is fabricated by prosecutor. The other case is made up by tax agent. I noticed that quite a number of public accountants attending this seminar. That's good, as accountant is supposed to be familiar with tax codes. I heard comments 30 years ago that doctors save the nation, lawyers govern the nation and accountants administer the nation, thanks to their professional training and skill sets. I also would like to stress that tax agents receive professional training as well. They are also bounded by strict ethic codes. Their administration of tax codes must be ethical and professional and put the interests of taxpayers ahead of the interests of the nation. The Tai Ji Men case shows us exactly the opposite of tax code and professional conducts of tax agents. The case is derived from a young, aggressive and ambitious prosecutor who likes enjoying the spotlight of media. Tai Ji Men case and many other cases in my book are all derived from the alleged income claimed by tax agent. But the income is not in existence. Prosecutor with little tax knowledge conducts investigation is a serious problem in tax assessment. I would like to offer some recommendations from my personal experiences, hoping to avoid repetition of same mistakes. First of all, tax agents have to be educated the spirit of taxation by law. The tax authority should have in place a mechanism to detect and correct mistakes. The external accountant can play a role as well. They should insist on detailed explanations from tax agents. They can refer the case in dispute to the internal auditors, control yuan or even taxpayer protection officers. I believe all these will help. Now is the internet age. We have a lot of social medias. So we should insist in fighting for our own rights. We can ask transparency and accountability from tax agents. The trails of fight for taxpayers' rights should be disclosed, shared, documented and encouraged. The most important is to enhance public awareness and the awakening of tax agents. Thank you all.
谢谢大家。